I'm joined here today by Sijara Eubanks, coming off a big win over Lauren Murphy at UFC Utica. Sijara, how are you today?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling good coming off my win a couple of weeks ago, and just happy to be chatting with you.
Glad to hear it. And so, speaking of your win, how do you look back at your performance?
I thought it was pretty good. Pretty solid win. I felt like I dominated all the rounds. I felt like, it was kind of strange making my UFC debut because I had felt so comfortable coming in. But I feel like I could have done a little bit more in the fight. But I'm always happy with a W, so it is what it is.
And what do you think went right for you in the fight?
What I think about
went right for you?
Oh, what went right? Just about everything. Everything felt solid. I felt like my striking was solid. I felt like I set up my takedowns pretty well. I think in the clinch, I thought it was pretty neutral. I felt like I could have worked a little bit more on the clinch, but I was striking off the clinch. So for me, my ground game, I was solid on top. Everything just all around solid. So I'm happy with it, and I'm most happy about being able to mix everything up. I was happy to be able to use some striking and, sort of show off a little bit of my stand-up.
And so one of the storylines coming in the fight kind of was just your weight and what happened the last time you fought and everything. How did you feel being back at 125?
Yeah, it feels good. I never left 125, so feels happy to be home and stay home. I had a much better weight cut this time around. I was working really closely with the UFC PI, with Duncan and Forrest and Clint, all the wonderful staff over in Vegas at the UFC PI, and they were able to help me with that between fight nutrition and diet and leaning my body out. So that by the time it came down to fight camp and time to cut the weight, I felt much better than I did last time. And I think conditioning wise, I felt good. I never had a problem in the conditioning when I was cutting in the Ultimate Fighter House, and so I wasn't really worried about my conditioning coming off the cut. So I felt fine.
And so the 125-pound division, obviously things are still coming together. They're sort of figuring out the rankings and everything. Where do you think a win in this last fight put you in the division?
Puts me in the position to fight the winner of this next title shot. It looks like Shevchenko and Nico are finally booked. So it puts me in line to fight the winner of that fight. And I don't see why not. That fight's going to be a little while from now. So, we'll see. I don't want to wait around too long, but it definitely keeps me where I belong, which is at the top.
And so, obviously, you mentioned the UFC Performance Institute. Is this something that you're looking to use for every single one of your camps now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely be using the UFC PI quite a bit. I actually plan on making a trip out there probably in July. It's free to all UFC fighters. Like, why not? I felt healthy. I felt good. They've got a ton of knowledge and a ton of data out there, a ton of equipment. So, I'm East Coast based, so I'm going to stay East Coast. I'm going to stay out here with Mark Henry, Nick Catone, Jamal Patterson, Ricardo Almeida, all my coaches out here East Coast, and this is my home. But I do plan on adding some frequent trips to Vegas and to the PI to keep my body and my conditioning in line to stay healthy and stay fresh for 125.
And so are you mostly using the PI for the nutrition aspect, or are you also kind of using it for the training as well?
Mostly the nutrition and conditioning, mostly. They got good training there, good equipment, but yeah, it's mostly for nutrition and for body composition.
And so we spoke earlier of the 125-pound division. What do you think about the way that the divisions come in together?
I think it's packed it up nicely. I was just looking the other day, and everyone's matched up. I think who is currently ranked in the top 15, I think the top 12 girls are all matched up or just recently fought, like me and Lauren. So I think by the time that title fight happens between Nico and Shevchenko, the rest of the division will have cleared out. So I'm excited that they're moving along and they're matching us up and keeping the fights going, because it'll help sort of prioritize who's top and sort of see, where these rankings really fall over the next couple of months. So it's exciting to watch this division grow and to develop. Yeah.
And so what do you think currently of the title situation? Obviously, you were part of it not too long ago. We haven't seen a defense yet. What do you think of it all?
I think it's, I think mostly about myself when it comes to this whole game, because it's a selfish game to be a fighter. So I'm always thinking about what I can do to stay to the top and what I need to do to get that belt. So That's what I've been focused on, is me and my camp. But I've seen, I've seen the lack of activity from Nico, and I've seen the sort of back and forth. I've seen, Shevchenko call her out and vice versa. So I've been watching. I know what's going on in the division. I think it'll be an interesting fight. I think Shevchenko wins that fight. But Nico's tough. So I'm just glad to see that it's finally moving, because, I was getting, not concerned, but I was just wondering when Nico was going to be healthy, when that title defense was going to happen. So, I've said it before. I think, Nico probably could have done a little bit more while she was injured to sort of stay relevant and to stay entertaining while she was the champ. But it is what it is. At least now, I believe it's September 8th is the, I don't know the date, but I believe Nico posted something recently like, hey, Shevchenko, let's do this September. So I'm just glad to get that fight rolling, because I know I'm next in line. So the quicker that fight happens, the quicker I can get my shot.
And so one of the stories that actually broke today is that you're part of the fighters that are going to be part of the Pride March. I believe it's in New York. What exactly is going on with that?
Man, I don't know. The details are pretty vague. They just, I think like a day or two ago, the UFC emailed me. It was like, do you want to be part of Pride? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds like a blast. And they was like, we don't know exactly what you're doing. I was like, hey, Pride is New York City. It's got to be fun. So it's part of the march. So, in my biggest, wildest dreams, I'm going to be on a float, and that's going to be great. So if I can get on a float this weekend, I'm going to be happy as a lark. But just to be able to participate in the Pride activities in New York Pride, this will actually be my first time doing Pride in New York City. I've never done that before. So to be able to do it as part of Out Sports and as part of as UFC, and to be an athlete and to be some kind of inspiration or something like that for other fighters and other athletes out there who are LGBTQ plus, that's going to be fun. It's a blast. So it's a win-win for me. If I just got to go out there and wave a rainbow flag around for a couple of minutes, I'd be happy. So I'm really excited to see what's in store for me this weekend. So like I said, I don't know exactly yet. They was like, they asked me, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm there.
And so is this something that's important for you to be a part of? I mean, obviously you're very excited for it, but just how important is it for you to be a part of this event?
It's really important, like everyone, being an LGBTQ person can have its rough times, it's still, not accepted wholly as a society. There's still people who are killed and bullied and beaten up for whatever their identity and whatever they choose to be. And it's tough, and especially to be in an athletic platform. You have a lot of eyeballs on you as an athlete. People are watching you on TV, and we live in a day and age where the internet can be a really nasty place. It can be fun, it can be entertaining, but it can be a really nasty place. And a lot of people struggle with coming out and finding themselves and discovering who they are. And when you try to discover yourself while you're an athlete, while people are watching you develop in your career, it can be even more of a challenge than if you weren't. So I'm just excited to be able to celebrate who we are, to be able to celebrate the different identities, and to be able to bring people of all genres and all backgrounds and all sexualities together and just have a good time and just be happy. And so if I can do that, if there's someone out there that can look at me and be like, oh, she's out and she's happy, maybe I can too, that would, if just one person can be affected by that, I've done more than enough in my career. So I think it's important that we all just come together and be happy, man. It's a rough day and age that we live in.
And so you mentioned the challenges. Obviously, you're a fighter. You've got a very high platform. Do you face many challenges?
As far as being LGBTQ?
Yeah.
I get a few internet trolls, but I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had it too tough. I grew up in a small town, and I know growing up in like middle school and high school, I kind of knew that I was attracted to women, and I wasn't really out. I wasn't really accepted in the town that I was on. I know some other kids that were out and had a hard time, just teased and made fun of. But I'll be honest, I didn't have a hard experience. My family has been generally very accepting of my sexuality and of my partner and of the baby that we have together. So I can't be more blessed. I've been one of the lucky ones to have a lot of support in my coming out process. But I know that's not true for everyone. So I think it's important to bring awareness and to let people know who aren't supportive of LGBTQ people that people are people, man, and it's all love. So whatever I can do to spread that, I'm good.
And so coming back to your fight career, when do you step back in the gym?
Oh man, I'm back training. It's just time when I'm down in the shore, so I spent like the first week just hanging out at the beach and just relaxing. But I started tapering my training up this week. Last week I trained. The first week I just took off completely and just relaxed, and then the second week back I just did like 2 or 3 days, and then this week I'll be doing 4 or 5 days, and then next week we'll be on a regular training schedule, getting 6 days a week training in, getting 2 days a week of sparring in. So I think it's important to stay fresh between fights and just be ready, especially with this division being as fresh and everyone being booked. I think it's important that I stay healthy and stay ready.
And so speaking of being booked, do you have an idea when you'd like to return to the cage?
I would like to return before the end of the year, but I had to talk to my manager. I've talked to my coaches a little bit, talked to Ali, and right after the fight, I wasn't really paying close attention to what was going on in fight camp. And then after my fight, I kind of looked and I was like, dang, everyone's booked. So it's kind of hard. A few other people have asked me who do I have in mind or what do I want to do next, but the division's kind of everyone's booked. Everyone has a fight, so we just gotta wait and see. But I really do plan to fight before the end of the year. I'm hoping September, October, something like that.
All right, so I just have one more for you. How do you see the rest of 2018 working out for you?
Oh, it's gonna be a great year, man. It's gonna be a fantastic year. Like I said, I want to fight again, and I'm relocating. I've already relocated to the East Coast. I've been spending a lot of time in Jersey, so I'm getting settled in and starting to look for a more permanent place for me and my family to live. We've bounced around like every 6 months for like the last 2 years, so I'm just enjoying my time, enjoying my new team and my new coaches, and enjoying the summer. This is the first time I've had a summer that I wasn't in fight camp. So I'm still training, but I get to, at least on Sunday, I get to not be studying film. I can go to the beach or something. And then just the rest of 2018, and just look forward to having a good year. Lots of health, lots of prosperity, lots of success, and just staying positive and staying healthy.